To Resident Evil 7. And Resident Evil 7 again, people are constantly looking at this game and they're trying to show it off and everything and say that this game is super scary, it's going to keep you up on the edge of your seat, and it is an amazing game. And the more I look at it, it just looks like Amnesia to me, or at least like a photorealistic Texas Chainsaw-esque massacre game which that the guns you have, they don't hurt these invincible enemies that come your way. And like they've also shown that you also play as a girl too, and she's dealing with the mother, same as when you play with the guy Ethan, he's dealing with the father. And I believe that when you're eating at the table, I think that that's a game over screen, because again, how that's kind of portrayed is like, well, you have no more actions and you lost. They caught you and now they're forcing you to eat. And when you don't eat, they kill you. I'm kind of talking about a different video here, but still with the trailer, it's not necessarily pumping me up for Resident Evil. But at the same time, though, I understand that this can be a very scary game. I mean, again, Evil Within, that game kind of scared me a little bit, only because, you know, you're kind of, well, now you have little ammo and most of the enemies you fight, they can kind of fuck you up pretty easy. But this one is not necessarily a very scary game. It's just more or less like you're a guy who doesn't have any weapons, doesn't have any items, and it's that Resident Evil 1 problem all over again of like, well, now the game is tension, or at least like the game is building tension, not necessarily because of terrible controls. It's building tension because I really don't have any way to defend myself, you know. And it's kind of one of those things all over again. I do like how you do heal yourself though, but again, I'm talking about another video. But until then though, let's move on to the next game though. Finally, for most of the trailers that I do want to talk about, we do have The Last of Us 2. And me personally, I have gone on record in plenty of videos, and you can look throughout past and shit, of me fucking saying that they probably shouldn't make a 2, or that they probably shouldn't make one off rip, because most people that they kind of just want a Joel and an Ellie story all over again, of them leaving there and going to another place, when mostly the major story of The Last of Us was Joel and Tess, until Tess got bitten. The whole goal was to get Ellie all the way down to wherever the main Firefly like base was, so they could kill her and, you know, extract the shit from her brain and shit, you know, killing out, man, the fucking like infection. But like there was no real incentive to kind of make that a second game, which is that this one necessarily, it seems though that the incentive could be that Joel is dead, or most likely somebody attacked their home and killed off all of her friends, and now she's holding a grudge for that, you know, and she wants to hunt the people down who did it and murder them, which again is another incentive to kind of get them out on the road and looking for these people. Or most likely it could be something to do with the Fireflies in retaliation for what Joel did, you know, leaving with Ellie and taking her with them, so that there's no cure. So most likely it could be that, of them saying that we will kill Joel and we will take her with us, which most likely could also bleed into the whole thing of Joel being dead and her wanting to kill all of them. Not necessarily naming a fucking group per se, but then again, the only other group that we know of aside from the government is also the Fireflies. So most likely it could be them, you know. But till then though, you know, like that is The Last of Us. Looking at most of the other beautiful nuggets that actually came out around that time, we also have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which again it seems to be something like the very first Marvel vs. Capcom, in which that you know, you have a 2v2 battle and a assist character. However, looking at the gameplay trailer, it seems though that they mixed in something from Marvel's superheroes, if most people, if you haven't played that. But then again, around that time, X-Men Children of the Atom and Street Fighter versus X-Men, I believe, at that time, kind of, you know, overshadowed it. But they're bringing back an interesting mechanic from that, which is that you have these specific gyms. Now, I don't know. Well, now the interesting thing is though is that they actually changed some of the gyms to sort of fit in with what's going on with some of the MCU movies. Because again, the Time Gem, originally it wasn't green. Originally the Soul Gem was green, the one that actually you can steal health from other people, you know. And also the Power Gem wasn't necessarily purple, it was more pink. But then again, I think it's still pink in the game. But most of that is kind of following the fucking MCU now. So now the Time Gem is green, I think the Power Gem is purple, and of course the Mind Gem in this case, which is inside of the Infinity Cube, inside of the MCU, which it was a separate thing in the comics, it's actually taking place here, you know. So I'm kind of liking it. Also, they did drop something, I believe earlier today, which was we have 2 more confirmed characters aside from Mega Man X, which he does have his different armors. Now we don't know if he can use most of his other armors. Most likely it might just be like Arthur, you know, he just gets that one armor and then like that's the end of it, you know, because Arthur, he doesn't use his green one, he just uses like his golden one. We also have cool ass Ryu and Iron Man and Captain Marvel, or as I know her, Miss Marvel, you know. So we got her there, and they just announced Morgan and Captain America. So this game seems as though that it's gonna be something big. However, they are using a lot of assets from the original Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So it's a good chance that most of the other characters that they might just be tweaked and thrown thrown into this game. So that's a good thing that I am looking forward to. Other games over there in which that you might be interested in noting, they also have the Absolver, The Last Guardian is finally coming out. Lara Croft Go, Neo, which looks, well, they actually dropped the fucking trailer on that, so I'm super happy for that shit. Horizon Dawn Zero, of course, everybody's looking forward to that, and I'm super hyped about it. They have Windjammers. Parappa the Rapper is also getting a small remake. You can also pick up. They said that the demo for that is out now. You know, they even have Dreadnought in some game that's called Vane. I was supposed to also talk about Danganronpa 3, which is also coming out, but that shit's super interesting. Games of Glory and What Remains of Edith Finch. Oh my god. But enough of the long-winded stuff. We also have Destiny, The Rise of Iron, like Christmas stuff. They also have the Wipeout Omega Collection. Crash Bandicoot, The Insane Trilogy, which is something that I just might drop some money on, because that is the original game just sort of redone, like with updated, like I believe that those are photorealistic graphics, but they look amazing. So it's something that I kind of do want to replay. You know, it was a pain in the ass to get all of those gems though, but it's gonna be fun to replay those. They also have specific games such as Pyre, and Strafe, Gran Turismo. They are giving everybody everything. They even brought back Ace Combat, or at least like they call it Ace Combat 7, but they're bringing back everything. So most likely, if you want something up on this list, you know, oh my god, Sony, you are making me hate you as a company, but at the same time it's kind of making me realize that Nintendo and Xbox could probably, and Microsoft could be way better at this gaming thing if they just made fucking games and then just presented them to people, you know. Because again, at this point, like all those arguments of like, well now Sony isn't doing this and like Xbox is beating them and like I'm up on VG charts. You look at that shit now and it's like, well, is there a reason for you to say that? Because again, they might be selling more consoles now, but is there a reason to get that shit? Like if there's nothing on it that I don't give a fuck about? I mean, again, like, people still say, again, just Gravity Rush 2 alone is still making people want to buy a fucking PlayStation 4 Pro, you know. So that is something. This year's PlayStation experience has been fucking amazing, and I really want to hear your thoughts on it, or most likely how you feel personally about any one of the games that have been presented. But until then, that is what I gotta say about that. I will see you on the next Jongravesshow Show. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Hello, Internet. Welcome to another episode of the Jongravesshow Show, in this case, Recap Corner. You know, I don't mean to sound like a dick here, but honestly, I don't know how these two fucking won this fight with Twin Star Exorcist. Because, again, this entire episode, again, is mostly a harkens back to Miku's flashback with Sakura's father. And what is going on with that? Well, it's nice that they're finally getting some closure and that they gave them both a story and shit, or at least, at the very least, gave them a reason to fight. But then again, you think about it, and it feels like that if they seriously had to fight her,